Welcome to the BEEVisio training. Preparing the layout for a drawing. What we haven't done at all so far is look at how it's positioned somewhere in the room. That's not actually important for the scene at this stage, nor for the bill of materials. It only becomes important once I have a drawing derived from it. Then it matters where and how the structure is situated in the room. To do that, I have the option down here to select which view is the front view and which are the side views. So here I can use the arrow to select which view I want. Basically, I'll say I want the front view, and behold, it's spot on. So that means if I now set the view like this and essentially select my view here, then I'm looking straight at the front, and that's exactly the right view, because that's also the master view, which will be needed later for deriving the drawing. You always want to have a front view as well, and it has to be like that in this view. If the assembly weren't like that, you could also do it this way. I'll basically select everything and put it all into a top-level assembly. Then, if the assembly is now, I'll just switch on tribal. The assembly would be facing the wrong way and would, please turn off the perspective view, and I'll click on the front view, and I can see that the side view is there, so something's not right. Then, basically, I need to select the entire structure again, switch tribal back on, select the pan axis, rotate the structure by 90 degrees, switch tribal off again, switch back to the front view, and I can see that the structure is also displayed in the front view. That's fine then. I'll save the solution again. Another step in preparing for drawing derivation is that I'll do this. I have the option to create specific layers via the configuration. By default, we always use the default configuration, and I can use the button at the very bottom right here, configuration, to create a new one. It's always important that I always use the previous scene. In this, say I only have a default here. That's what I can then use as a basis. Most of the time I just remove components. That means I deactivate certain components, and then, for example, when I'm creating the drawing where I say I don't want any containers or a base or anything like that, or no roller track, I can basically hide more and more components step by step until in the end, I'm left. For example, just the empty. I've got the frame there, just the pipes, without the roller track, without the container, without the base, so that I'll have a clearer view later on for the drawing. That means I'm basically components without the containers for now. Close. And now I can deactivate the containers. I can now select each individual container. In principle, I could select them all. I can use the Control key and the Shift key to select them, and I'll do the same here too. So that means I'm holding down the Control and Shift keys. And now you can see that the components at the bottom are already highlighted in color. This means that as soon as I do something up there, it will already affect the layers because they've been copied and linked together. So I've now selected the top ones using the Control and Shift keys. I'll go back in, Control and Shift the 4 containers, right-click to deactivate them. And there you go, just like that. All the other items have already been hidden. And I can now reset the configuration back to default, and I can see that the containers are there. And in the configuration without containers, I no longer have any. Now I can create another configuration and say, without a floor close, select my floor area. I'd like that to be disabled as well. Wrong click. Save. Right, and now I could also make a frame again, because I say, we can create a configuration without any pipes, or with just pipes. Right, close it. Now I could also say that I'm going to deactivate this. That means any that are selected together will all be deactivated, right? And just to be on the safe side, I'll go back to the default settings at the end and save them so that if I ever reopen the scene, it will always open in the default settings first. That's it. I've now finished all the preparatory work for the scene. Thank you for watching and see you in the next BEEVisio training session.